Hi everybody, welcome to this Python Explainer tutorial. Today we're going to look at exception handling, and we're going to look at how to use two keywords in Python, break and continue. The scenario is we want to write a program that gets only a positive number from the keyboard. The number is squared and the output, or the result, is displayed. Okay, so what we're basically doing is we're saying, okay, I'm going to create a variable and I'm going to assign it something from the keyboard. Okay, and then we're going to output that value squared. So that's how to do squared. That's one way of doing squared in Python. Okay, so let's run it, see if it works. Enter number 12. Oh, what? Unsupported operand type for this power of strategy on strings. Okay, let me try and explain that. When I enter something from the keyboard, for example, when I enter 12 on the keyboard, Python doesn't see this as a number. Python sees it as a word because it's come from the keyboard. So I need to convert this to be a number. I need it to be this, so then I can do maths with it. So the strategy that I'm going to use is to use the int function, which will convert the input to be an actual whole number, an integer. If I was looking for a decimal number, I would use the float function. But in this example, I just want to get an integer from the keyboard. So let's try it again. Yay, it works. Okay, so we can walk away and give ourselves a pat on the back because our program works. We can give our program to somebody else and they'll try it. So let's try it again. Now the person who's trying it is a bit cheeky and decides to enter some text from the keyboard. Oh, our program crashes. We get a value error. So what we need to do as programmers is try to predict when this kind of situation might happen. And it often happens when we have user input. We need to be able to handle this error. Okay, errors are sometimes called exceptions in computer programming. So we need to be able to handle exceptions. Okay, so let's look at how to do that in Python. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try I'm going to try to get a number from the keyboard. And when I've got that number, I'm going to print something. If I get a value error, I'm going to let the user know that they've made an error. And ask them to try again. Okay, so we'll try to do this, but if there's an error, we're going to catch that error, or that exception, and we're just going to let the user know that something's wrong. So let's run it again and see if it works. I'm going to enter a number. Yay, my program didn't crash. But this time, it doesn't allow me to try again. I want to try again. It's not letting me try again. So let's try and figure out a solution to that. One strategy is to put all of this code into a while loop. And while true, which basically means just keep doing this forever. Forever, try and get a positive number from, or try and get a number from the keyboard. And if we get an error, this will print out and we'll go back up to the top of the loop and we'll try again. So we're just going to keep trying. So let's run this. Oh. So now I'm being offered the opportunity to try again. So let's enter one number. Just want one number to be entered. So it solves the problem for me, but now it's asking me to enter another number. I don't want to enter another number. I've already entered a number. No, I want to stop the loop. I want to stop the loop. Okay. So to stop the loop, if we get a positive number here and we don't jump to the error code, that means we're going to print the answer, and then we're going to break out of the loop. Break means break out of the loop. So we're going to break down to here. We're out of the loop now. Let's just do a print statement here and end of program. Okay, so let's run this program again. Just take a moment to consider what's happening here again. We're going to put the user into a loop. They're going to keep trying to enter only a number, and if they're successful, we're going to break out of the loop, and then we can continue the program. In fact, I'm going to put the print statement outside the loop. The purpose of this while loop is just to get a number from the keyboard, and once we've done that, we can then evaluate the number. Okay, so let's do it like that instead. So we're going to enter a number. Oh, we're in the loop. We're in the loop. We're in the loop. Valid number. We're going to break out of the loop, and then we're going to display the square of this number. Break out of the loop. End of program. It works. Again, take a moment to think about the logic that's happening here. Okay? We're going to keep the user trapped in a loop until they successfully enter a number from the keyboard. That's when we break. As long as we're getting errors, we're going to stay in the loop. There's no break there. We're trapped in the loop. Okay? Now, what if I want to only get a positive number? What I can do is say, okay, I'm going to get a number from the keyboard, but if the number is less than 0, I'm going to display a message. I'm going to display a message, and I'm going to allow the user to continue the loop. So the continue keyword takes the user back to the top of the loop, and we start again. Okay? Now, if the number isn't less than 0, that means we got what we wanted. That's when we break. Okay? So try to get a number. If we don't get a number, we jump to the exception, and we ask for numbers only, and we go back to the top of the loop. We try to get a number, but I enter -12. This is true. So we continue back to the top of the loop. I try again. I enter a number, 12. That's not true, so we jump to the else, and we break. We're out of the loop, and now we can process our positive number. So there's an introduction to exception handling in Python, and an indication of how to use the continue and break statements in Python 2. Have a go.